What's up, guys? Your boy Dalyxman. Welcome to another edition of Dalyxman's Q&A Corner, where every Wednesday I answer your questions in under 15 minutes. If you have a question for me, please like me on Facebook, and then when I ask for questions, give me your question in the comments and I'll answer as many as I can in 15 minutes. Now, update. Q&A number 45. This is 43, but number 45 will be SummerSlam Q&A, and that one will go an hour long, maybe 30 minutes. It depends. I want to do a preview / Q&A, so we'll see what happens with that. But Q&A number 45 is an hour long. If you feel like I don't get to your questions a lot, that is the time to ask me. So with that said, let's get started. Who do you see winning the 2016 Royal Rumble? I have 5 choices. I always do top 5. I think right now, Reigns is always gonna be a pick. I think they might go with him again. Kevin Owens, so far, is a great pick. I think Owens might actually be a dark horse. Bryan is always a good choice. They never capitalized on his, return to WWE and the fact that he never lost the belt. They just kind of swept that under the rug. And, let's see. I said Owens. I said Bryan. If they want to do Cody Rhodes, they can always push him as a babyface. And I think he would be a great pick, especially at this point in time, because fans want to love this guy so hard. They want to cheer him. They want to get behind him so badly. I can just tell they want to get behind him. And then you got people like Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt and others who would be good candidates, but it all depends on if they want to be pushed. Well, not if they want to be pushed, on if WWE wants them to be pushed. We'll see what happens with that, but top 5, Reigns, Owens, Bryan, Cody, and I guess for the sake of the video, Ambrose. There you go. Do you think this is a good idea and good concept? John Cena open challenge. Owens comes out. Seth gets involved. Costs Cena the match. Owens is the U.S. champion. And then we do Cesaro and Owens for the United States Championship. Sure. And, that's a good question. And someone else asked about Cena versus Rollins. So I'll answer 2 questions in one time. In my personal opinion, when it comes to who should win between Cena versus Rollins, that was the other question. It really depends on what they do with Cesaro and Owens. If the plan is to get the belt off of Cena, so Cesaro and Kevin Owens can wrestle for that belt, that will be the time, or that will be the moment I say, yes, Cena will beat Seth Rollins for that World Championship. As of right now, if John Cena goes into SummerSlam as the U.S. champion, I guarantee you he is not walking out as world champion. I don't think the WWE is that in love with John Cena. Well, they actually are, but I don't think they are going to have Rollins win the belt at WrestleMania, have a crappy reign, very crappy reign, and then drop it to John Cena, because, how is that making a star out of anybody? So, I think they're going to use John Cena as a way to give Rollins some legitimacy. Don't take my word for it. I'm not going to sit here and say they won't have Cena win. It just depends on what they do with him going forward. Like I said, if he goes into SummerSlam as U.S. champion, don't worry. He's not winning that belt. And you can pretty much guarantee that Rollins actually might beat him clean even, because Cena beat him clean on Raw, and the more I think about it, Rollins hasn't beat anybody clean. No, he beat Ambrose clean. Sorry. Yeah, it's Ambrose and, Neville. Neville and Ambrose. Okay, so he has beaten, 2 people clean? Maybe he beat someone on SmackDown clean that I'm not remembering. He hasn't beaten a lot of people clean. Let me just say that. So, this might be the match he does it. And if he beats Cena clean, that might be the day or the time where people say, okay, he's a legit champion now. Because he needs that. Every heel champion at some point, Triple H, Edge, Ric Flair, you name it, has to win a match clean. They had to really show the world that, look, okay, I might cheat, I might run, but when it comes down to defending my belt, I will fight to keep it. You know, JBL even did that at one point. So maybe this is the match that will happen. And if that is the case, if we are doing Cena with the US Championship versus Rollins, that also means that Owens and Cesaro could just be a regular match. Although I have been seeing reports, because I don't watch SmackDown, but I have been seeing reports that Rollins is interacting with Owens and Cesaro on SmackDown. That kind of makes me excited about my idea. Now, people are telling me that the Fatal 4-Way might not happen. I even said in the video that that most likely might not happen. I'm not getting my hopes up. That's just something I feel would be the best option for SummerSlam. They don't have to do it. I think it would be best for everybody to do that match, though. If they were going to do Owens and Cesaro, what I would want is at least, like, number one contendership. Like, the winner gets to face either Cena or Freak Rollins for the championship. Number one contendership for whatever title you want to give it to him. Give it that, and I think the match will have something. That will give direction to both of them. Like, okay, I am fighting for a chance to become a champion, which is what they want. Make sense? Storytelling, folks. So, that's my thoughts on that. Thank you for the question, man. Well, questions, because I answered 2 questions in 1 moment. If there is a stipulation to Taker versus Lesnar at SummerSlam, which would you want? I would want Buried Alive. Buried Alive would fit this feud very well. I think it would be pretty awesome. I don't think it should be normal one-on-one. I don't think that's going to work. I think these guys have too much hatred, too much animosity for it to just be a regular match. It needs to be hardcore or some type of stipulation. You're right about that. I would go for Buried Alive. That's just me. Do you think of WWE teaming up Neville and Bad News Barrett? Because they're British? I don't think that'll work, man. I know what you're going for. I'm not feeling that tag team. No offense. How should have WCW broke apart the NWO? That's a good question. That's a very broad question. I don't think I can answer that myself, man. NWO was way too big for what it was anyways. There was way too many people in the NWO. The way they went about it was maybe the best way to do it. I mean, they broke up the NWO from the black and white NWO to red and black, which is Wolfpack. You know, that was the best way to do it, honestly. I don't know any other way we could really break up the NWO with as many people there was in it, so I can't really answer that one. Hey bro, Daily X dude. What? That is not my name. Make a blog site, bro. We'd all sign up for it. I'll think about that. I do like writing. Yeah, believe it or not, I do like writing. I don't like reading, but I like writing. Okay, I don't like reading long books. I'm not a book reader. I do audiobooks. I'd rather just listen to someone talk about it. Listen to someone narrate a book than actually sit down. I don't know. It's like when I see multiple words in big books, I just get like... But if I read on the internet, it's not a big deal. I don't know. Maybe it's just something with the book that I just don't like. But, yeah. Maybe I will make a blog site. Alright, I have 5 minutes, so let's play speed round, shall we? Dalyxman, now that SummerSlam is 4 hours, do you think we'll have some NXT matches on it? No, because the Wednesday before SummerSlam is the NXT special, so most likely we won't. Otherwise, I guarantee you, we would have Owens versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam, which actually might not be a bad idea. However, since we already have NXT that week, I doubt we'll see any NXT matches on the show. Will TakeOver be better than SummerSlam? We'll see. I think the NXT TakeOver specials are some of the best wrestling shows ever, period, to take place in wrestling. So they have a reputation to uphold, and I think SummerSlam might have competition, which I love. I love that competition within WWE is making everything better. I love that. How would you book the Nexus? Like the Shield was booked. Like how the Shield was booked when they first came in, that is how the Nexus should have been booked. Do you think GoodMicWork kind of sounds like a WWE apologist on his commentaries? I won't call him an apologist. I do think at times he might be just a tad bit out of touch with what's going on, but even he admits that because he doesn't watch all the time. I do think he defends Cena just a little bit too much, and I really do mean that. It's almost like he lets him slide on a lot of stuff. And for good reason, because he is a good person and he doesn't do stupid stuff. You have to remember that GoodMicWork used to work for WWEF, whatever you want to call it, back then. And he has a certain mentality about wrestling that might come from working with WWF. So I don't fault him for it. I do sometimes feel like he doesn't quite understand why fans get angry, especially with John Cena. You know, it's not the fact that we hate the guy, it's the fact that we don't like his booking. You know, and he might look at me and go, well, Dalyxman, that's you because you're a smart wrestling fan. No, that's pretty much it. I think with the way Cena has been booked as of lately, as a great mid-card champion, fans have started to actually like him a little bit more and get behind him because they haven't been shoving him down our throats as the greatest of all time. When they let Cena be Cena, he's great. We can acknowledge him as one of the greats of all time. Top 50, definitely. Maybe even top 20. I'll say top 20. But when you try to say he is the great, like he is the best, better than Ric Flair, Taker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Austin, Rock, no. That's when he gets rejected. Okay? Let us decide if he's the greatest of all time. Don't tell us, you know. Now, people are talking about there being beef between me and GoodMicWork. I assure you there is no beef. We do argue a lot over Twitter, and it mostly has to do with John Cena. You know, I didn't like that John Cena absolutely decimated Rusev in his feud. I don't like that he beat Kevin Owens in his feud. And when I say that, apparently GoodMicWork would take that as me saying I'm a John Cena hater, which I think is a very shallow answer to why I don't like him. No, because here I am on YouTube acknowledging that John Cena is top 50, maybe even top 20 of all time. Do you know how many wrestlers had come into the wrestling business? Over thousands. Old, young, male, female. And I am going to put John Cena in this elite class of the 50 greatest wrestlers that wrestlers should emulate. Do you think if I was a John Cena hater that I would put him in top 50? No, he wouldn't even be on the list at all. But I'm going to acknowledge that, not because I had no choice. No, if I was a hater, I don't care what logic you use, he wouldn't be on that list. But all of a sudden, when I acknowledge that, when I'm on Twitter saying that John Cena is actually having a good match, when I say I don't like him beating Kevin Owens or beating Rusev, that all of a sudden makes me a John Cena hater. Which most of the time is why we get into fights. Is because he makes a very shallow judgment. And I call him out on it. But, you know, it's one of those things where, okay, we hit it off on Twitter, and then we be done with it. We move on. GoodMicWork is my idol. GoodMicWork is the reason why I started doing YouTube videos. Without GoodMicWork, you would have no Dalyxman. That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. I was not influenced by Spoonie, or Spinnernet, or Truth Slayer, or whoever was around back then. No, GoodMicWork helped Dalyxman be born. So, you might not like him, for good reason sometimes, because he does make some very shallow judgments, and he can be a little out of touch at times, but he is logical. He does make videos here and there. I do watch them. I do enjoy them for the most part. The stuff I don't enjoy, I do call him out on it. You know, and sometimes it's, again, has to do with John Cena, which is okay. But at the end of the day, you know, I will always admire him for influencing me to do this. I really enjoy being on YouTube. I really enjoy talking to you about wrestling. So I will always remember and admire him for that. Although we might fight over Twitter once in a while, for good reason. I can't really say I don't like the guy. But guys, that is my Q&A. Thank you for watching. This is your boy, Dalyxman, signing off. Take care. Peace.